Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Golden Opportunities Coaching YouTube channel. Welcome to those of you who are new. Welcome back to those of you seasoned veterans of what we do around here. What we do around here, bring about conversations of a psychological, mental health, emotional health, and coaching paradigm. We do that as often as we can, usually several times per week. Got over 1,400 of these available for your listening pleasure. We'll make something happen for you several times per week. If you are dealing with today's topic, which is toxic parents, or anything else that you'd like coaching, I would love to be of service to you if I can. Please feel free to reach out at PO Perception on Twitter and or in the About Me section of this YouTube page. Either one will get you in touch with me or a member of my team. So, signs of toxic parents. First thing is they're constantly negative, and they're usually negative in comparison with either their child and the child's friends or the child and themselves when they were younger. The negativity usually stems from the fact that the parent is unsatisfied with certain areas of their own life, and ultimately they pass that negativity onto the child. Many times, these parents also are regretting being parents, and or might even have some substance abuse or mental health issues themselves. This means that they will show very little, if not no empathy towards the way they're coming across. In other words, the idea of how they're coming across being a concern of theirs is almost non-existent. It doesn't mean they can't have that, but which means ultimately the ability to turn on and off empathy does exist, but the expectation that the child is a representation of them as a person is also another very common figure or factor. This will lead the parent to be extremely hypercritical. The hypercriticism usually comes from the fact of the parent not having a strong connection with being able to be supportive, or also kind of being in a position where they regret their own challenges, and so the regret of their own challenges often leads to challenges for the parent to be kind of looking at you know, this is you're a reflection of me, and if you don't look good, I don't look good, and if I don't look good, I don't like that. This also means the parent is very unlikely to carry a certain level of boundaries. This is because, in order to control the mechanism of how they come across as a parent and how they're seen by other parents in the community, by teachers, church leaders, their boss, or anybody else, they will become almost obsessed with how the child is constantly behaving. This obsession leads to no boundaries because they will push the child into things they're either not ready for, or ultimately maybe that go against their personality. Obviously, it gets extremely difficult for a number of reasons. Many parents don't have the capacity to admit that they don't want to be parents. Also, to be fair, there are a lot of people who get into parenthood as a result of obviously physical activity and family pressure that is upon them, without ever really thinking about the long-term affects and long-term commitments to the process of parenthood. The next thing is the parent will often blame the child for the loss of freedom or loss of money and or other aspects that lead the parent to have to be sacrificing in ways they don't want to. This constant, continual blame also becomes extremely stressful for the individual to kind of go forward in an interesting or fair way. It's never a good situation by any stretch of the imagination, but the challenge is ultimately, you know, a major um, factor in being able to go in the way that one wants one to be able to do in order to move forward. So hopefully this can be helpful to you. Please keep your feet on the ground, your mind in the moment. Until next time, everybody.